Hi, Warriors. CPI, or as Brand says, Consumer Pain Index. How you doing, AJ? Mike? RC? Looks like you like it here. How you doing, Saloom? Blake, good morning. Ryan, good morning. Ingmar, James. What's everyone's guess? Hugo? Okay. Let me move Steve out of the way here. So, Ryan, good morning. How are you, buddy?
Hey, mate. How you doing?
Good. Expectations for the number?
Expectations. The market's leaning towards, at the moment, less Fed cuts. So a hot number will add to that. Likely, if it's a soft number, those expectations will lessen a bit, but I don't think the market's going to drop that bone. So I think any dip in the dollar won't last too long unless it's a real soft number.
Okay. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I never expected 106 when I got back a few weeks ago off that rally from par. So Canada, just had a little break, was just moving sideways. I think we have to be on our toes today.
Yeah,
for this number.
That's my pair that I think could potentially make a move. Dollar CAD is good at pausing before big events, before carrying on in the right direction. So I think if we get a hot CPI number, we're going to test 140. If we don't get a hot CPI number, I think we get a dip, and then I think it's likely we're going to test 140 anyway. So I think all roads are pointing to this 140 at the moment.
Okay, getting a little pullback in risk, not much. That's nothing I would short after it looks like a flag pull, and we're consolidating here before another push.
Yeah. That 58.80 looks key, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We had the break above it the other day, and look, that third candle or second candle after the break up held 58.80 on the nose.
Okay. And yields were coming off, a BIP. Unlike the yen, the 10-year did not make a new high. Do you glean anything out of that?
Yeah, there's that 450 is going to be huge in yields in those tens. If we get above there, then dollar's off to the races again, I think, and so will dollar yen.
Okay. Some people talking 160 now. Well, you have some levels above it?
Yeah, there's around 155.70-ish is a level I've got, but otherwise there's a few bits and pieces. Otherwise, it's 157 is the big area. But yeah, I think if we are at the start of a big dollar rally, then the Ministry of Finance is going to be panicking, because we could be up through 160 in a heartbeat over the next few weeks.
Because I was reading the JGBs made new highs in yields yesterday, I believe.
Yeah,
well, the JGB.
Stock markets over there took a bit of a bashing on the Trump tariff factor, because they might go in the crosshairs. But I think that'll be overblown, because Japan produces enough in America. But yeah, all yields are going in the same direction at the moment, and even JGBs, like you say, are catching a move as well. So yeah.
Yeah, look at DAX. I saw a chart of the global stock index, and it shows a breakdown. So the whole world sold off after this presidential election.
Yeah.
So except the U.S. so far, that kind of lines up.
Yeah, Germany's got their own political mess going on at the moment. Looks like we're getting a confidence vote in December, and then if that goes wonky, a election in February.
Okay. Well, Airbnb hasn't been able to rally. Sell your vacation rental. Okay. Uh, this is not great action. See, this is what it did in the aftermarket. Okay. After earnings. I wanted to sell it there, but it happened after market hours. And here we are. I think it looks lousy. The housing stocks don't look great either. So the banks still something I've noticed. You have two drives in the banks, um, and this is I think is even more important. It's a Russell, because it's a proxy for really a lot of risk. Going out on the risk curve. So the Russell has similar formation. Look at see. So I'm thinking there's one more shot up in Russell too. I'll be waiting for that. And of course, Bitcoin, they tried to sell it off yesterday. To me, this is, just consolidation before we rip again. Parabolic should be parabolic. How long? Let's do a quiz. How long is it going to take Bitcoin to get to 100,000? Everyone out there, when do you think we'll be there? By Thanksgiving or Christmas or
Are you
never?
long? Are you long the new US government coin, Dale?
In fact, I'm going to be taking care of the strategic Bitcoin reserve.
Oh,
They wanted to bring someone in that knows nothing about it.
the SBR.
And huh?
The
I,
SBR.
except you know what? If you can read charts, you really don't even have to know anything about it because charts talk to you. Whose charts talk to them?
Me.
Anyone who's having trading dreams lately? Anyone? 2 weeks, Amira says, when Trump's inaugurated. Sooner than you think, Ron Pye. Okay. I
I
think
Hey
very
there.
soon.
I say
Hey,
this weekend.
this weekend? Okay,
Yes.
that could be. So Grega, welcome. How are
Hey,
you,
welcome.
buddy?
I'm fine,
Um,
thanks.
all right, so
You?
you're here. Why don't I surrender my TV to you? There was a show called The Outer Limits where they come in at the beginning of the show and say that they were taking over the TV, which, as a young kid kind of upset me. You know, when I asked my mom, I go, "Hey, mom, this program's taking over our TV." Anyway, so go ahead. I'm interested in what you have to say. Um, I caught what you said on Skype, Grega, that for us to get a more important top and to have euphoria. Not that there isn't. We are on the greedometer in greed, but we're not in extreme greed. Um, okay, so
You mean
there's
this chart?
Bitcoin. Okay, yeah. Well, I'm thinking S&Ps, and you said that to really have the euphoria, we need a dollar turn, and then they
Yeah,
think then and yields too, right? So yields come down. They don't have to come down a ton, but just to take any of the pressure off the market, which I mean, strong dollar hasn't bothered the market.
yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
I was looking at this Trump dollar stocks relationship back in 2016. So back that November, we have seen that dollar and stocks also were moving to the upside at the same time. But then in December, after this euphoria we have on the dollar, we have seen a reversal to the downside on the dollar, and this obviously pulled in even more traders into the stock market, which then rallied. So despite very strong stock market that is now trading to all-time highs, dollar is once again not turning to the downside yet. So I still think that there is money on the side that is yet to come into the stock market. And when this will be visible through the sell-off on the dollar, that's when we can see maybe the final push to the upside on stocks to really make these stocks unbelievably strong. But that's when actually we will see extreme of optimism, and
Yeah.
now we will get day by day, week by week, some positive, good, optimistic news from Trump, but then maybe when finally he will took office in, I think, January 20, maybe that will be a bit of different story, and that's when market could change this direction. So I think that this euphoria still is yet to come, and of course the easiest trends are visible through cryptocurrencies. And if you think that cryptocurrencies are very volatile, well, keep in mind that we are looking here at volatility index for Bitcoin, and we are not anywhere near compared to these previous stops. So I'm thinking that we are just in the middle of this cycle, and if dollar would really come to the downside, that's when all of the sets could push even higher before they will eventually top out, maybe with the blow-off tops here.
Okay.
Also, what
So
I would
I have 126 based upon the formation it was in before it broke out for Bitcoin.
okay.
And I'm looking for 61 to 63 S&Ps. Do you have any targets on both of those for
Yeah,
upside moves?
I'm looking here at this channel resistance on the S&P 500. We
Can you
talked
put it
about
up? I have your Bitcoin chart up here.
you don't see the S&P?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I have
Yeah, no,
Bitcoin.
I'm looking at Bitcoin too.
Strange. Okay, just to check, just a second. I'm not sure why I was. Can you stop the screen share for me, please?
How
I'm not
about
sharing.
this? I
It's a
will.
bit
I'll take over
strange.
for a second and see if that worked. Can you guys see my screen right now?
No.
You cannot.
Yes.
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 Okay. Okay. Guys, just so you know, Zoom did a little bit of an update, so that's
I don't
Yeah,
like it.
that's yeah.
yeah, me neither. All
I
right,
don't.
so here I'll stop sharing. There you go, Grega.
Mm. Okay, that was the problem. One participant can share at the time.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay. Okay. So you can see now the S&P.
Got still Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're still seeing the
Mhm.
Bitcoin screen.
How is that possible?
Select the right screen.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Perfect.
So I will just once again go into this chart. So regarding Bitcoin volatility that I just described earlier, we are still in the middle of this cycle and we are not anywhere close to the previous extremes. So I still think that we are having some room for more upside here. And since you mentioned targets for Bitcoin, I'm definitely looking, as I said, for 100,000, and there can easily be extension even higher here till dollar finally comes to the downside. Looking at this S&P 500 levels, we are already at 6,000, but since dollar, as said, still didn't come to the downside, I just think that this upper side of these channels here around 6,200 can still be retested, in my opinion. So bottom line, dollar is still bullish, but when it comes to the downside, I still think that we will have this final push higher, maybe going into the start of 2025 before we eventually turn around to these risky assets.
Let me ask you this, Grega. When we get a high in the dollar, and I was talking 109, although I was looking for a pullback from 104 and a half or so back towards 102 and a half that never manifested. And we just keep going. Isn't the persistence of both the yields, move in yields and the move in the dollar tell you that if there is a correction in both of them, that it's going to be higher yields again for another wave, and after the dollar comes off, another wave up in the dollar?
Well, if you look at this chart here, okay, you can see
Yeah.
that I'm looking at a counter trend movement. Okay,
Okay.
so I see 108 as very important resistance. So there's still some room left for more upside here, and maybe US yields will rally close to 4.8, maybe even 5%. But
Okay.
I still think that big picture and this big map for the dollar index will be very important for, I think, for next year. Definitely am not over optimistic regarding the dollar. I still think it will come to the downside, and very big fail can happen up here. After this Trump rally,
Yeah.
as I said, when he will be actually in office, the trend can change dramatically here.
Okay, so it's just going to keep going till it's over, and when it's over, it's over. You're going to want to just be selling dollars strength after we get
Yeah,
to say
and
108.
that's when we got this euphoria going on across
Uh,
different assets.
okay, and you think it could last through year end, maybe even into the inauguration?
Maybe in the first half of 2025.
First half? That much time, huh? Okay,
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
okay. Where I know that you declared silver, it's over, right? At the highs, that was five. Was that 5 of 5? So that's it for silver, or should we be looking to buy a break, say at $28 or something like that?
No, I think that metals have seen a very important top. I think that we will see much deeper correction here. Silver has came out of the
Yeah,
wedge pattern, and I'm looking for a drop towards 27, 28 minimum,
yeah,
but then
that's what.
possibly even lower.
Okay. And gold 2400 about.
Gold, I would be looking, just a second. I would be looking to, yes, 2,400
Okay.
or so.
All right.
And Greg, I'm showing my charts in case you
Yeah, yeah, I just
all right.
realized that.
Yeah, well, you weren't showing any charts, so I just wanted to make sure that people had a visual of what you were talking about. But gold, I actually had a pattern in play, as it dropped down to 2,600 and holding the 618. I decided, well, that's probably, the time to close it. This is
Nice
the
trade.
pattern in play. What's that?
Nice trade.
Thank you. I mean, it's just that we're on support right now. It's pretty key, and I guess probably today is going to be the reason why it could maybe continue lower if we see some further dollar strengthening, I guess. But you think this is going to be an important and significant top, Grega? Grega?
Yeah.
Not the multi-year top, but I think that correction is going to be much deeper. That's only first leg of the minimum high degree ABC structure.
Oh, okay. All right. So, and Dale's looking at 2,400, which would be like the 200 DMA. I don't think that's uncalled for. I don't think that's out of the
I got
question.
hate mail when I talked about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's the same. When you talk bad about gold, it's like talking bad about somebody's like house or something.
Like Apple or Nvidia. Oh,
Yeah,
don't say anything bad about Nvidia.
yeah.
I know that Grega's probably tracking Nvidia since it's, been somewhat of an anomaly. Nvidia's made new highs. Is it going to $200? Grega, you watching Nvidia?
Yeah, I'm watching, maybe not that high. We are
Yeah.
also there in a fifth wave,
Oh,
so
okay.
I would be
Yeah,
very
look at
careful.
Blake's got a cipher or a
So
butterfly.
yeah, butterfly. It's a butterfly.
Uh,
This is the butterfly target, and I
yeah,
drew that weeks ago. So I mean,
we're
we're
there.
basically yeah,
Yeah.
we've been stalling there for the last couple of days. So
Because the
is it?
semis, Blake, the semis aren't even close to new highs. When with this Nvidia leading the way,
Oops, not
you
it.
look
It's
at the
XL. What is this?
SMH.
SMH. There we go. Yeah, I mean, they are. Yeah, they're just kind of, yeah, I guess they are struggling. So, and we
Yeah.
have Cisco out after the close, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know that. But But hey, we got about 10 minutes before this CPI data comes out. Let's cover a few things. Greg, I'm gonna be getting your opinions as we go through here. I thought I saw Steve earlier, but he must have bowed out for a meeting or so. He was here for a little bit. Anyway, so here we go with the euro. Like really, it's a pretty critical support. Let's take a look at how important this support level is. You look at the horizontal support, and let me get rid of this. Let me just get rid of that one. Do you see this horizontal support? It's the same levels back here in April of this year. We start breaking through fresh lows. That means if the dollar, or excuse me, if the euro is below 106 and gets a foothold below there, the ABCD pennant completion all comes in around 104.90, somewhere around there, which would be the big range lows. And a lot of people are struggling to see that happen due to the idea that we literally have this is like seasonally a very, very tough time for the dollar. Grega, have you done any seasonal work as far as the dollar goes, and your thoughts on that? Maybe not. Okay. Ryan, let me ask you your opinions on seasonals. I mean, you look at the dollar this time of year, and you can go back, and we did this on the morning edge actually the other day. I want to say it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. We went and looked at the dollar index, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick view just because I think it's a big deal. And while I'm grabbing the dollar index, Ryan, did you have any opinions there?
Not on seasonals. I don't trade seasonals at all. And seasonals, we were in the middle of this election changeover, so I think a bit like a lot of markets at the moment, they're all going. It's not anything you can potentially rely on.
Right. So that I think that's a great point. Is that and I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can kind of see the around this time of year. I agree with you, and that's the big differentiator this year is with what's happening with the election. But I do want to show you that if you look at, let's go into, here's November of 2023, November, December. You can see the dollar starts to weaken. Here is 22, and you can see right through here. This is the weakness there. And you just go back and just look seasonally. You just have a time where the dollar really struggles, like overall. And you can see it's right here. You can just go back, and you go back the last 10 years, and there's only really a few years or a couple of years where the dollar really is firmed up. But you're right. This is an election year. We have, a change of the guard. We have Trump announcing a lot of important cabinet members, and a name that's getting thrown around quite a bit. And I don't know if it's confirmed. Maybe somebody can help me out with Lighthizer as the trade czar. I know he's been discussing it. I don't know if he's accepted the position or if he's going to take the position. If he is,
Trump wants him, but I don't think he's said yes or no yet.
Yeah, right. And I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that you're right. It's not confirmed yet. I didn't think it was either. And that you want to talk about something else that could really get the dollar going, because we could sit here and go, okay, yeah, inflation data came in line with as expected. The dollar index is, pushing up against resistance, and you can see how key that resistance is. But really, if Lighthizer is the new, trade czar, if you will, I mean, the dollar could rip on that, right? I mean, that could be a situation where everybody's like, oh crap, he's really going to come hard at China. He's going to come hard with tariffs. Lighthizer, and he's not going to be, he's not going to mess around. That could really, set the dollar in motion. I was listening to another analyst earlier this morning as I was on my morning walk at 4 o'clock in the morning. Dale, you should try it. It's really cold and it's not a whole lot of fun. You should try it sometime. That's why I started doing.
Thanks for sharing.
I started doing that at, now that we have the time change, I just try to
Yeah.
get out and go walking. I was listening to an analyst who was just like, look, I'm like sitting here doing the numbers on what, the trade balance is and what the tariffs are going to do and the money that's incoming, and it doesn't add up. And all it adds up to is higher yields, and no wonder, bonds are under pressure. And so I'm going to take you over to the 10-year really quick. And this is a real key level, Dale. And I know we've discussed this, but we completed a bear flag pattern. Look at this rising
Yeah.
trend line. This is the 10-year, the ZNs. You can
Yeah.
see the 30 years also, obviously under a lot of pressure here. And I would say arguably weaker, and I wouldn't even be looking at that right now. I'm just looking at as a whole, it looks a lot weaker. And then you have your 10-year yields, which is obviously the inverse of the ZNs.
Yeah.
I mean, man, if they break out, and it's like I said, it's not going to uncharted territory, but you can see this is the market's hesitation with this, potentially, um, very scary situation with deficits and how we're going to pay for it with, if tariffs, basically the Trump administration, it's going to be very difficult for them to do everything they want to do and stay fiscally responsible. And I think that's what the market is telling us right now, and that's why yields are ripping, and we're up against highs like on
You don't
yields.
believe in Musk?
What's that?
You don't believe in Elon Musk and his new Dogecoin department?
Well, then you got, Viva. I've never said his name out loud. What's the other guy that's managed? What's the name? Viva Swami? Is that his
Oh, yeah.
name? Dale?
Yeah. Yeah.
That him and Elon Musk are managing the government efficiency office, but there's two people managing, which doesn't seem very efficient as it is. So, which I find kind of interesting, but I don't know, Dale. I don't know, Ryan. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
What if he does it? What if he manages the only person to cut government wastage? It'll be a game changer for the whole world.
Yeah, it would be. Absolutely. Absolutely. And you can't, until we see it, you can't
Yeah.
ignore it. And you can't, you look at what Elon Musk has done. And I mean, and I know he's not the actual person behind the screens that is doing all the work at, whether it's Tesla or if it's SpaceX, he's got, good solid people behind him, but still, you have to give him the benefit of the doubt. So, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting 2025. Regardless, you can see why, the bond market is a little nervous here. Anyway, we're going into the data right now. Ryan, you talked about the dollar CAD. I think the dollar CAD needs to be on the radar of everybody, obviously. We're going to keep yields over here on the left. Let's see, I've got the S&P right over here on the right, and let me fix that chart. There we go. There's the S&P. We have yields. Let's make that a 15-minute chart so you guys can see what's happening in the 10-year. And then in the middle right here, I'm going to put the dollar index. Because I think the dollar index is flirting with a big level of resistance. Because Ryan, you were talking about the risks of a runaway, dollar. I mean, if we get much above these highs that we were at yesterday, and the euro gets below 106, I mean, the next stop for the euro is the 105 level. So,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem illogical, for that to happen. So, just saying. So anyway, here's the 10-year yields. Here is the dollar. And then here's the S&P, and let me pull up the data flash. Oh, it's right here. That over. How much time do we got?
30 seconds.
Okay, 30 seconds. Dale, what are you thinking as far as I'm with Ryan. You got to watch this dollar Canadian. It's not giving traders opportunities to get out of shorts. So what do you think, Dale?
Well, I'm thinking that maybe we'll get a surprise number because yields like where you showed them They have to turn here or there's big problems. So I think that there might be a turn in yields that they peak out and the number helps it. And whether it's
In
buy the
line,
rumors, sell the fact.
In line.
In line?
in
Okay.
line with expectations, 2.6 and 3.3, which is probably
There
good
goes
enough.
the dollar.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. There we go. Okay. So, Grega, we might be getting it sooner rather than later, that euphoria that you were talking about with the turn in the dollar. I think we're getting it here. But, you know, I'm the boy who cried wolf. So, you know, wolf.
So do you buy the dollar on a dip here because it's an
No,
you don't
no,
think so, huh?
no,
See,
no.
I
That's
think
not,
I think this move in the euro dollar, and this we were talking about this in the ForexAnalytix chat room. If you guys aren't in here, this is you know, the conversations that we're having here. I'm hoping for a soft CPI allows for the euro dollar move back to the 106.80 level
yeah.
to be on the short side. So that's what I'm looking for.
Are
And
we
again,
there yet? Are we at 680?
not even close, unfortunately. We're at 106.45, which is where we were
Okay.
at earlier.
Yeah.
So it's not, well, I mean, yesterday, I guess it's,
What's Canada doing here? I don't have my screen.
So a
oh, it pulled
little
back.
dip.
It
Yeah,
pulled back,
Canada looks like a, yeah, I don't know.
pulled
I've
back a
Let's
picked
few.
up.
see.
I've picked up a little bit at 36. I
You
don't
know
know
what?
why
I
Okay.
picked
I
up
was
some
dipping
at
on this.
37, Ryan. I picked up a
Oh, yeah, vulture. See, they're always jumping in front of me. These lot. I tell
No, you jumped in front of me. You got 36. I got 37. I bought it at
Yeah,
37, buddy.
makes a
See,
change.
you got the better price. You got the better
Take it.
price.
Take it.
I don't know why the dollar's dipping on this. It's sticky inflation, even though it's at expectations. Yeah, we don't know why the dollar's dipping. So let's see what happens with dollar CAD now. If we
Yeah.
go and finally take a look at that 140.
Yeah, well, let's see. I mean, I do want to point this out once again, and if you guys didn't see the oh shoot, I got rid of it. Anyway, retail positioning is still in the 90s. They're you know, it's like 90% short this thing. So dips are just so minor. It's not giving anybody an opportunity to get out of shorts. So just keep that in mind, you know. And with that being said, Dale, we should probably pass it over to you, buddy.
Well, JJ, if you're here, raise your hand or
Oh, JJ's not here.
give me a sign. Make it rain outside or a clap of thunder.
Give
Are
me
you
a
around,
sec.
buddy? All right,
Well,
I'll go. I'll go hunt on
you go
Twitter.
hunt for him. Let's talk for a few more minutes. I think Grega's still here too. Grega, what do you think about this dollar move? I mean, it's very minor. You saw the dollar pull back just a bit. Do you believe it? Do you buy the dip? What are you going to do with the dollar? Because I see the
I
euro just slipped.
Yeah, I think the dollar will continue to rise, and most likely the euro dollar is still the best play to the downside after any kind of a rally here. We know what the ECB is expecting. We are already seeing Fed comments from yesterday that they are obviously sound a bit concerned regarding inflation, and even if there was a number around expectations, it's still up from last time. So I just think that dollar for now has more room to go.
Yeah, I mean the dollar is just, I mean it's so weak, and again, as Grega just pointed out, the numbers are in line, and we got producer prices tomorrow, but you can see all the numbers are in line with expectations. Um, Not a reason to be selling dollars, but why? And let me ask you this, Ryan, why did equity markets pop on that data? What do you think?
Because yields
No
came
idea.
down.
I wasn't watching them.
Oh, well, equity markets have come down, maybe because they feel that the Fed still will just continue down the easing path. I mean, because it's nothing that's you know, gone, you know, outside of the norms, I guess. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
that's probably it. That might be it. We'll see how
yeah.
long that thing lasts once Trump's in the hot seat.
Yeah, I mean, look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin just popped again. Bitcoin just continues to rally. Hey, I know you covered a little bit here as far as crypto goes, Grega, but where do you think Bitcoin goes from here? Because this is just a nice bullish consolidation.
I will not say 100,000, 99,000.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna say it stopped short, and just so
Yeah,
everybody
I
knows,
mean, I said earlier that during the weekend, during the weekend, other major news events are off the schedule, and that's when cryptocurrencies have easy flows actually to produce more gains. And especially if we'll see stocks still in very good shape here going into the Friday sessions and Thursday, I just think that cryptos will continue to perform well during weekends.
Is this
okay,
the
yeah.
final push? This 5 that we're going to get in Bitcoin, is it the end of 3, or is it 5 of 5?
I
Of
think on a
5.
higher degree chart, I think it's a 5 of 5.
Okay, that's important. All right.
All right. Well,
All right.
we
I'll
uh,
just short it up there at 125 and write it down to 500.
well, I'll tell you
To
what, this
500, okay.
looks like we're gonna go. If you're calling
I got it.
99,000, Grega, I'm gonna call 103,000 because that's where my measurement ends up for the
120. I'm in at 120.
You're in at 120. All right. Well,
120. All right.
that's some.
And
Well, if you're gonna
let's
go
bet
120, why don't you just go 158?
hey, we're shooters. Let's bet a Coke.
There we go.
We're high rollers.
Yeah,
I'll
Coke and
bet
a smoke.
you and Grega a Coke.
All
Hey, will
right.
you do it? All right. Anyway, that's your risk.
That is
That I'll burp on you.
great, Dale. That's awesome. A Coke and then you'll burp. Hey, a couple other things we should probably pay attention to is we got this Aussie dollar that's holding near support here. It's in a megaphone pattern. Kiwi came down to support as well. It's holding at least briefly. So I mean, the dollar doesn't, the dollar is strong, but you can see how it's stalling against certain currencies. So, just something to keep in mind. Did you find
No,
your
I can't. I can't find JJ. So I'll get in touch with them later. We
okay.
have 2 more interviews, and I want people to be here Friday after the close because I do have a new guest, and he has this real interesting technical style. He has these rainbow waves. So, and he's been bullish. Anyone ever hear of at Leo Math Hart before?
No.
So, I've been out there, beating the bushes looking for some, hidden gems out there to bring in. So we'll see how that goes Friday.
Oh,
Who
nice.
wants to be a guest? Who said that? When are you a guest? You have to be careful what you say in here. Okay, Saloom. Okay. When would you like to? A week from today? I could tell you're a good trader. You want it? You want to do that? Be great to have someone from the community. Next year, week,
Come on, Tulum, put your money where your
week,
mouth
week.
is.
All right, just
All right.
guys, heads up while we're waiting on Saloom
All right.
to
You
answer
asked, and you were ready, and I said okay, and now you want to wait. You're not going to ask me for a script, are you? Because I don't script interviews.
Coach, I think your guest is there.
JJ.
JJ's there?
FFFDDFD got some tech issues. FD in the chat.
That's it.
Okay.
All right, there you
Oh,
go.
yeah, all right.
Well, you would never have gotten that one, right?
Yeah. All right, so you're here.
Let's see. I'll promote them.
All right.
So you have to accept the promotion, and then you'll be good to go.
Yeah, I see the
There
gorilla
you
up there.
All right, and before we go, I just wanted to point out, guys, if you guys didn't see this,
Yen's reversing.
Well, yeah, it hit pretty big resistance. We got a little bit of a false breakout here. I don't know if I'd lean into it while it's in this ascending channel, but just,
Look,
realize that
I
we're,
would look at that RSI. So
oh yeah,
this
it's
could be
very
a three.
divergent.
This could be the third right here.
Could be.
Anyway,
Could be.
could
All
be.
right.
All right. Well, thanks, team. Grega, thanks for dropping by. Ryan, always great to have you here. I learn from you every day. And Blake, thank you for guiding us
Cheers, mate.
every
If I
day.
can burp on you, I
Uh,
would.
thanks for guiding. All right. So text it to me anyway.
All
All
right.
right. All right. Dream Team, thank you. JJ, welcome back. Tech
Thank,
issues.
thank
How
you,
are you,
sir. Yeah,
buddy?
good, sir. Good, sir. My computer decided to install Windows 11 updates right at the time I was supposed to sign in. So I
Oh, okay.
apologize.
That's
Yeah,
okay. So you probably
apologies.
don't, can you show your market
Oh, yeah.
profile?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right.
I'd love to.
All right. So, I have a question for market profile. When
Certainly.
markets enter new record territory to the upside
Yes, sir.
or make like new yearly lows or something like that, does profile ever have anything above that? Because how could there be a demand supply level
There, there isn't.
already? There isn't.
But,
Okay, you answered my
but,
question.
but, but I feel like those guys on the old KTEL commercials, for 1995, but just wait one
Yeah.
moment. Okay.
All
What
right.
we do know from profile is cost basis. Okay.
Yeah.
So in business, you have a cost basis, then you distribute, right? So you
Yeah.
can pretty much tell, like I was telling guys yesterday, here are my levels. So we did a look above and fail of 60.38. So, you short under 38, you put your stop above it, you cover a little bit at the middle of the zone. And if it doesn't hit the bottom of the zone, you start to cover because the sellers don't need to sell any lower, right?
Yeah.
You don't need to mark down prices. So, they start to raise prices.
Yeah.
And that way we can now these levels are untested, but you kind of watch how the order flow is around them because once you get out to like twice cost basis, four times cost basis, eight times, that's when the short sellers, that's when the little hairs on the back of their neck should start standing up.
Can I say
And
some levels you have above the market?
certainly,
Okay, so you have what are they based on?
they're based on this balance zone. Now, Dalton came up with this, right? He says you take a balance zone, and balance coach is really just two-sided trade. Remember in the old days, you'd call a market maker and go, "Hey, this stock, what are you doing?" He goes, I'm working 50 for Schwab. I'm working a couple of hundred for XYZ bank. But it's kind of slow on both sides. What do you want to do, right? That's
Yeah.
what balances, and that back and forth. It's the same folks on the buy and sell, right? And they flip from the bid to the offer when we get to the over the middle of the zone, right? So they're just working this back and forth, right? Because it's slow. It's distribution because the market's up, right? So we're taking stuff and distributing, and all different time frames are doing that two-sided trade. Then when we break up above that, right? Then we go into distribution. They get that big trend day. You get the shorts
Yeah.
trapped in the gap, right?
Do you think
And
they're still trapped or they're gone? They have to be gone
oh, I don't know. There's a lot of money out there, coach.
that are short.
No, there's a lot of players out there who will put money on a short position. There's people who are hedging, right? And the
Yeah.
reason why I think this, and I know this to be true, is every time we get down to those gaps, all of a sudden a bid just magically appears, right? Now,
Okay.
I've done a lot of short squeezes on purpose. I get paid to do it in the old days,
Right.
right? So I know that if I gap a stock from 3 to 5 overnight, because I'll call my market makers early morning and I'll tell them to move off the offer. They move away from the offer. In the pre-market, you can move a stock really, really quite a bit because you just show them some size and the offers just lift, right?
Right.
They don't have to be good on there. They'll be like, oh my God, I'm not adjusted. I'm going to move in the old days, right? Same
Yeah.
thing electronically, just more efficiently now. So then you gap a stock. And when you come back down to that area where the gap is, that's where the shorts come in and start bidding to cover. And that's when the market, the sellers, because if you're a distributor, you'll understand, you'll see that first bid from the shorts then you start lifting the offers, they'll start following you up, right? And we still get that. What's happening right now on a 1 minute time frame? Shorts are trapped under 6,010, right? And we're distributing now from 20 to 28.
Okay.
Here, I'll
I
drag it
did
over.
notice. I did notice that you can't trade with them, but I think we have a record commercial short position in S&Ps right now. Do you
I
follow
would,
that stuff at all?
I don't, I'm
It's
just an old
okay.
guy. I'm just
You know,
simple, right? I'm
yeah,
simple. Because I'm a day trader, I'm in and out. I make my daily bread and then I go to sleep. And that way I don't try and think I'm too more smart than I am.
yeah,
I find the bid, I find the offer, I get in between, I do a little business, and thank you very much. And, like a fisherman, I catch my daily limit and that's it.
yeah.
If I can, and if I can't, well, then there's always tomorrow.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what would you do if you were flat right now?
If I was flat right now, I'd wait and see. I'd wait for the market to start a distribution balance, right? We'll start distributing sideways. And what I do is once that balance is set up and I can find it and identify it, I'll trade the edges of it back and forth.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
My favorite system.
you just have to wait for a range to develop,
Yeah.
and you just have to be patient right here.
Yeah. This is when, when the cake's really for us, for me, I don't have a setup to trade this right now. So my setup involves a little bit more time, right? And because I'm older, I don't mind chilling out and waiting, right? What I want to
Yeah.
see is I want to see that offer start moving lower. You see how the offer is moving lower,
Yeah.
right? They're fading this, they're backfilling the move, right? Because
Right.
the supply is all under 8. So now, if you were long size under 8, you're going to backfill slowly, slowly. So you don't scare away all the buyers, right? Then you'll look for bids right here under 23 half, right? And see if the offer starts to lift when we come down to 23 half, right? If the offer starts to lift when we come down to 23 half, bingo, they found the bid, right? And they'll move the offer away from it and see if the buyers follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just old school stuff,
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's just that I took my old school teaching and because I had trouble memorizing all the candle patterns and things like that. I was really
Um,
bad at that.
yeah.
So I had to figure out a simple way of interpreting candles so I could actually execute. Otherwise, I get analysis paralysis if I look at too many
Okay.
things. That's just me.
How many different candles are they? I didn't read Steve Neeson's book.
I don't know. I bought the book, but it was like the Bible, and I read like the
Yeah.
first chapter, and then I forgot it. Then I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I better start going back to moving deals because this is really hard.
I wonder if you could put Ichimoku clouds on market profile and look for confluence in
If
areas.
you taught me what those were, I'd love to check it out. But
Well,
I've
I
heard of
can't.
them, but I have
Yeah,
no
well,
idea what the heck they are.
they're kind of like bands.
Okay.
When the clouds are underneath the market, they act as support levels, and
Oh,
above it, they act as resistance levels. Be
oh, cool.
interesting to see if because the Japanese are uh, some of the best traders in the
Oh, they're
world,
some
and
pretty
they
sharp cats over there. Yeah.
and they came up with the
Yeah.
sticks and the
Yeah.
clouds. And anyway, just a thought I had.
Yeah. I'd love to learn. I'm always, I'm never opposed to learning.
Yeah,
So
because
yeah.
it'd be nice besides just having the box to have something, even though don't fix what's not broken, but to see if you could have confluence with the profile.
Sure.
It
Yeah.
would give you more
Yeah.
conviction.
More conviction. Yeah. Now you can see that
Yeah,
they broke that 23 and a half. So there's some competition, right? You
yeah,
always like, I mean, that was my whole job was to capture the buying. They saw 2 million shares trade. My client would call, how much of that are we liquid? Okay, we sold 750,000. Good. Keep going. Right. Um, if my client sees a block go across the tape and they're not a part of it, they're going to rip my face off. So we had to capture the buying.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
And that's what they're
So
doing right now. So let's see
yeah,
let's see if we can get a nice little, um, it'd be nice if we maybe did a look below and
18.
fail of 18.
Yeah.
that would be nice. And then we could just set up a nice back and forth here, and just play some ping pong.
Okay.
I like trading where the play box, the sandbox is defined.
Yeah.
I'm not a good trend trader, right? I
Yeah.
have
You
not
like
learned that.
ranges.
I'm an old wholesaler, right? So back and
Yeah.
forth,
Yeah.
right? And that's what I'm comfortable with.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's everything else going with you, JJ?
Good, good. I'm in Liverpool, in the UK. Great
Oh,
city, wonderful people.
nice. You just
Yeah.
moved there?
Well, I've been in the UK on and off for a couple of years now. My girlfriend's here.
Okay.
So yeah, out of North America for now, and I'm Canadian, but
Okay.
I love my Canadians, but it's really nice. The UK is it's a great country, and Liverpool's a great city. Just great people,
Are
wonderful
you
people.
wearing a Ringo cap while you're there?
Wearing
Huh?
a ring?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
no, no,
Oh, you're laughing. You must remember them.
no.
Huh?
No,
You have
no.
how about Beetle boots? Any Beetle
Beetle, no,
boots?
there is a Beatle statue about 2 blocks away, and this they're always playing the
Uh,
same 3 songs. But but
is it all of them? It's
uh,
all the
no,
statue is all of them, the Fab
yeah, yeah,
Four?
it's all of them. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
They've got the Beatles Rolls Royce doing the tour. You pay I don't know how many pounds, and they drive you around and show you their houses and stuff.
Oh,
But
wow.
oh yeah, it's a big thing here. You know, yeah.
All right. So Loom's saying be in Italy for vacation every month and to
Oh
live it up.
yeah, I'm going to Italy at the end of this month.
See,
I've been to Rome once, and
yeah,
man, boy, if I had to do it all over again, I think if I was young, I would live in Rome. It's pretty cool.
yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
history.
it is, and my girlfriend took me to Spain a couple of times too, to the north,
Yeah,
um, San Sebastian de Nostria. Boy, it's just beautiful. Just
and
it,
you have the perfect lifestyle to be a trader tourist.
yeah, yeah,
I think that's why you set aside a certain amount of time
yeah.
to trade every day. What are
Yeah.
your active trading hours?
Well, I'm up at 5 a.m. London time because she's an anesthesiologist, and I pack her off to work, and then I do a London session on Zoom. So
Okay,
I'm always kind of in front of the screens. I'm also working on a couple of deals, to be honest. You never get that out of your blood.
yeah,
So doing a little bit of that, and so I'm always in front of the screens. And then for me, I like Globex. I really like Globex because it's just moving inventory, right? It's
yeah.
because like
Because that's for your waking hours. That's
yeah,
mainly what you trade, right?
yeah, exactly. And by about 4 o'clock is 4 or 5 o'clock, it's getting into that 2 p.m. New York time. That's when my
Yeah,
brain, I start getting tired and a little
yeah,
slow. So I
yeah,
tend not to. There's some good trades there, but sometimes I might not be, on the ball enough to take them.
yeah.
Um,
Know
and
thyself. Yeah,
yeah, you
know
know,
thyself.
exactly, exactly.
All right. Any words of encouragement
Uh,
that you want to give new traders today?
Definitely take it easy on yourself, right? This is a skill. It takes some time to learn. Try and enjoy the journey. Don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Put pressure on yourself to have discipline and risk management. Don't try and put pressure on yourself to make a lot of money, because all you got to do is just outlast this thing, and eventually you'll pick up, eventually you'll pick it up. Just make sure you build those good business habits at first, like managing risk, knowing when to trade, when not to trade. Learn that stuff. Learn that, every trade is a business decision. And when the business decision, when the reason for the trade goes away, so should you and your capital, and just, try and enjoy it a bit, because I see a lot of people, they contact me and like, JJ, I got to make 4 grand a day. I'm like, well, do you make 4 grand
Yeah.
a day at your job? No. Well, be a little realistic and try and chill out. It's a marathon. It's going to take some time, so you might as well enjoy the ride.
And play small ball, right? Micro
Oh
lots.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Micro lots.
Use the micro. The micro is a gift from the goddess of trading. You have a bad day, you're down $30. You can make that back. That's not going to kill you.
Right.
You know, You can
Right.
recover. It's like trading with training wheels, right?
And it's better than demo because people don't take demos seriously. So if you
Exactly.
have 10, 15, 20 bucks on the line, it's
Yeah,
you still have money on the line.
exactly. And the other thing too is there is no simulator that can mimic order flow exactly, right? It simulates the order flow. There's nothing like actually going and putting your hands in the dirt
That's interesting.
and getting a feel for it.
Okay. All right. Well, at least we got to hear a pro for about 20 minutes today.
Sorry about
Uh,
that. I blame
that's
Bill
okay,
Gates.
man. Thanks for making the effort to show. Why don't you
Thank you,
show
sir.
people? You could follow JJ on X at VWAP Trader One. You want to show your website?
Sure, just 1 second here.
Jean-Francois Boucher is thanking you.
Oh, merci.
Yeah.
And that's our website right here, microefutures.com.
All right. JJ's a pro. If you want to learn day trading and I don't know if day trading is good for if you're in ARP, which is the retirement organization here in the U.S. I don't know if you could
I
still hit the. Do you think it's good for
I think it's
senior
great.
citizens to day trade?
I think it's great for senior citizens to day trade because it helps keep them mentally up there,
Yeah,
right?
you know
You
what?
know,
There's a benefit I didn't even think about.
right? It's you got to
Yeah,
use it. You got to use the old peanut, otherwise it starts, atrophying. You know.
yeah, yeah. If you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Yeah, and you
Take
know
it,
what? Like,
huh?
older people, some of these, retired people, they've run successful businesses, so
Yeah,
they've got that mindset. And when you take someone who's been successful in life and then you put them in a rocking chair, it's not healthy for them, you know.
yeah. You're
So
not gonna put me in a rocking chair.
no way, not me either.
You know, I already know my retirement plan.
Perfect.
Do you have one?
I was lucky enough to live in Hawaii in the 80s.
Uh-huh.
And that's a place where I'd love to be when I'm older. Just love the people, love the culture. I've got an aunt who's local, and she's Hawaiian. My uncle married a Hawaiian lady, so that's how I just love the place. It's just an incredible energy and wonderful people and
Okay,
great weather.
Rehab Mohammed is asking you to share your website again.
Oh, certainly. 1 sec. There we go.
There it is. Okay, Rehab. All right. So good hunting till I talk to you again, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Keep,
It's always a pleasure to be on with you. And I once again apologize. I should have updated my computer last night.
don't worry about it, and keep scalping your heart out and teaching people to stay alive,
Much appreciated.
like the John Travolta movie.
Staying alive. Exactly.
Staying alive. Staying right. That could be the name of your book.
Exactly.
I'll give you a book title, Staying Alive.
Thanks,
All right,
coach.
buddy.
All right,
Nice
coach.
talking to you, JJ.
Have a great trading day.
All
Bye for
right,
now.
buddy. Take it easy. All right, so that's a wrap, everyone. You could join the team if you're part of the community in 15 minutes on the Morning Edge. Get the bias chart and hear what people are thinking. The team is thinking 30 minutes after the number. Nice shot, Tony. See everyone tomorrow. Okay. You're very welcome, everyone. Adios. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings.